Welcome to video 9A. Who are the numbers in my neighborhood? 1 through 5 demonstration. This supplemental small group activity extends the learning from the large group activity by introducing a number path from 1 to 5. Children use this tool to explore the relationships among neighbor numbers, which are numbers that are one more and one less than a given number. The materials you'll need are a blank number path to 5, quantity cards 1 to 5 featuring numerals and 10 frames, the character chart constructed during the large group activity, and a cardinality chart from 1 to 5. Please refer to the activity instructions for how to individualize for your classroom. This activity provides the opportunity to use the following key instructional practices for comparing and labeling magnitudes. Help children discover the increasing magnitude principle, that the later a number word appears in the counting sequence, the larger the quantity it represents. Encourage children to apply the increasing magnitude principle to compare collections more precisely by counting. Help children focus on neighboring numbers by asking, what comes after? And eventually, what comes before? Questions about the number sequence. Help children discover the successor principle, that each sequential number is exactly one more, by asking, what is one more than? And eventually, what is one fewer than? Questions. And pair visual representations of quantity to both number words and numerals to create meaningful three-way associations. Let's join a classroom as they engage in this activity, and then listen in as the teacher reflects with a colleague.
It's the same.
What's the same about it? Remind us. Well, what do you see? You want to point? What part's the same?
I want it up there.
You want to jump it? Like the stairs? Let's see you jump it. Up,
Boing, boing,
up,
boing,
up, to the very top. You were jumping up one time.
I
Hey.
go up to the Chuck E. Cheese.
All the way up. What happens when you go down the steps? Are we getting one more or one less?
The gingerbread man.
What's happening? Are we going down?
Mm,
So we're getting less, right?
Up.
When we go up, we get more. We go up the
Let's go
steps,
to the elevator.
we get more in each line, and when we go down, there's always one less. So we'll start with 1. That would be the gingerbread man, and then we have what? What comes next?
Put it there.
You can put that there. Let's see, Emanuela, where does the 2 match on our story? So Amen said this one was the 1. How about we go like this? Yeah, okay. So how many?
About 3 1.
Oh, you need 3? Okay,
Yeah.
so let's see. 3 comes next. So can you stick them together to make another tower? And where does it match our story? Does it go right there? Gingerbread man, teacher, and rabbit. I'm going to put our story away for just a minute because I want us to look at the numbers we created. I've got some number cards. What number does this one say?
3.
3. So where would it match in our towers? Okay. Oh, okay. So Amen, you put it right there. So where do you think this one should go? I'll let Amen, you put that one. What number is that?
2.
2. Emanuela, what's that one?
5.
Okay. Looks like we're missing some numbers. What goes next door? We have a little neighbor here. What would go right there?
4. Boo.
You said 4, and Emmanuel counted 4.
It's my turn.
If we put a 4 here, that shows us that 4 is 1 more than 3, and it's 1 less than 5. Yeah, you guys matched it. So this is the 5 tower,
And the 4
the
tower.
4 tower. Let's stand them up because I notice they're not all the same height. Which tower is the tallest? Which has the most? Which one has more? The 3 or the 5?
5.
Mm-hmm.
And the 6.
And that one has the least. That's only 1, right? Yeah. I'm going to give you a stack. We've got our numbers in order. We can make a number path if we put them all together right in a row. You want to help make the number path?
Oh, yeah.
Do they all fit on there? Okay, 2 more.
And 1.
And there goes 1. Okay, so I'm going to give, let's see. Amen, where would this stack go on the number path?
2.
It goes at the 2. Where does this one go, Manuela? Which one has more?
3.
The 3? Mm-hmm. It has 1 more than the 2. Right. It's right next door. Now 2 has another neighbor. 2 has a neighbor on this side. What's that number?
1.
1. Is it more than 2 or less than 2?
Less than 2.
It's less than 2. It's 1 less. Who's the neighbor on this side?
4.
4. And that's 1 more. Where does this one go? Amin's putting it with 5. Is this a stack? How many are in this stack?
No, it's
Do you
right
want to?
here.
Well, do you want to look, Amin? Let's check it. How many are in that stack? Okay, so where does this one go? Let's. Okay, and what about that one?
No,
Are all the neighbors in the right spot?
do not do like this. It goes there. This.
All right, I think you did it. Let's see if we can walk up the stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like here, you were saying it looked like stairs. We can walk up. Your fingers walked right up the steps. That went 1 more each time. Can you go down the steps? 1 less. You go down, down, down. Whoops.
Thanks for sitting down and getting a chance to talk about the numbers in my neighborhood. I'm just wondering, how do you think it went? Did they recognize that it was 1 more step up? And
Yeah.
what information did you get?
I think they're still working to generalize the relationship and express them. I mean, they're good counters, so they know the number sequence. In fact, up and down. Like, so they could count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But just looking at sort of 2 numbers of the sequence, not the entire sequence as a run, but just two of the numbers and saying which one is more and which one's less, or which comes before, which comes after. That was harder, and I think they don't necessarily, that act of comparison isn't something we do a lot, and I think especially the 1 less is not language that they are very familiar with. I'm recognizing I don't use it as much in the classroom. We tend to focus on more. I'm thinking they may not have expressed it as a comparison. I was trying to model it. I hope I did a good job, but thinking, recognizing that this isn't language that's comfortable for them yet, for them to just say 3 goes here, having them say 3 is 1 more than 2, or 1 more than 2 is 3, or some sort of comparison sentence would have been good.
And those are actually 2 different concepts. To understand that 3 comes next. Again, that goes back to that count sequence and knowledge, and that they're really strong in that number knowledge. But in the sense of what's 1 more, that's a little bit a different question than what comes after. Understanding that the next number that those two things coexist at the same time, you know, that the next number after is also one more than the number before it. And I think that's what you realized that, and you were trying to push for that. I'm so excited that you really focused on 1 to 5.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's where they have to sort of get the relationships here, because even as we went higher, numbers before, you know, if there was, you know, 5 or something, to know that this is 4 was really hard. They wanted to say 6, because normally that in the direction we count, that would be what would be there. So it was hard for them to think numbers before or 1 less.
So one of the things that I noticed was that you provided a lot of tools, a lot of entry points for the children to think about these ideas. You know, first the connection from the gingerbread story, where they had the character chart, and then you brought it over to the cardinality chart, and then the unifix cubes, and then our number path.
Right. Well, you know, the story chart was hopefully to leverage their love of that story, and they're familiar with that growing pattern, because we've read so many different versions. You know, at some point I put it away, and the cardinality chart is more it's more abstract. Then building it, I think, makes it much more concrete. And it's just a more hands-on representation. So, you know, as we use the cubes and the cards, they were more active. I tried to make them do more of the math themselves. And so I think it provided a lot of ways to get some assessment information about what they understand. I mean, I was pleased to see the numerals didn't really trip up anybody. So, you know, they've connected the number word with the written symbol. They're good counters. I mean, nobody is struggling with the counting part. So now the work is really thinking about why do these numbers come in this order? You know, what does it mean that they're in this order? And thinking about just that 1 more and 1 less relationship.
And that's that progression to move from becoming strong counters to strong understanders of the number relationships, the pattern of our number system.
Right. Well, and that's the flexibility piece, because if you can only count from 1 in 1 direction, you're just not very flexible with numbers.
But if you know the numbers in your neighborhood and who are your neighbor numbers, then you have a much stronger grasp of our number system.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks so much, Janine, for this conversation.
Of course.